What's up, everyone? Tay here. I'm with Trey, missions pastor of Bethany Church. Want to let you know, real quick, got a missions trip coming up. So here's what this video is going to be. It's going to be a laid-back conversation between the two of us. We're not expecting this thing to be super polished, so there might be some uhs and some ums, some mistakes in there. Trey's gonna, a few claps. Trey's gonna nail it perfectly, though. He doesn't make mistakes, and so he'll be able to nail his in a single take. This is just mostly a disclaimer for me when I make mistakes. A second ago, some guy was doing construction outside. There might be an ambulance. Anyway, we do want to let you know about mission trips that we have coming up as the collective. You guys probably know that part of the collective, really part of Bethany Church as a whole, we love mission trips. And so this really isn't so much a promo video as much as it's going to be an info video for those of you that are part of the collective and that are interested in coming on a missions trip with us in 2018. In the past couple years, we've been able to do trips to Niger. We've done a trip to Japan, Nicaragua. So it's been really awesome to see a missions movement grow with our young adults community. So what we're going to do, Trey and I are just going to talk for a little bit and let you guys know about the trip that we're going to be doing in 2018, how you can get involved. Hopefully we'll be able to clear up some questions you might have. If you do have a question, when we get done talking, we'll be sure to give you guys an email, something like that. You guys can reach out to us, and we'd love to clear up anything we can. So, yeah, Trey, you can go ahead and let us know about where Collective will be going in 2018.
Yeah, so basically, as a collective, we are going to Brazil in May. And so, like Tay said, we've gone, this is the third year now?
Yeah, third year.
Third year to do missions. And so this year, our goal is to just see a lot of you guys, a lot of people mobilized and go. It's going to be in Rio de Janeiro and working with, it's a pretty sweet place.
Yeah, that's nice.
A lot of, that's where like the famous beaches are and the big Christ the Redeemer statue. That's not why we're going, but we will be able to see
there?
They did the Olympics there last year.
Come on.
So
Olympics. I missed it.
I don't know how well it went, but they did have it
I've been
there.
training for the Olympics. I'm almost ready for them.
So we're going to be taking a trip May 11 to 18.
Yeah.
So I think that's 8 days, 8 full days.
Yeah.
So that's 8 days including travel. That's covering everything. It's going to be in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. We'll be working with our Surge leader there. Should we go into Surge at all?
Yeah, you can.
Basically, Surge works with Bethany, and it's how we do our church planting. So our leader for all of Brazil actually is based in Rio, and so we're going to be working with him. He actually just started a Dream Center this year, so this is brand new, right in like the heart of Rio de Janeiro. So our goal is that we're going to bring a whole bunch of young adults into that region, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and what's going to be great about this trip, Trey and I have talked about it, it's really going to be, if I remember correctly, kind of almost like a sampling of all different shades and type of mission trips, right? So we'll be sharing the gospel, but there's also service projects that we'll be doing. I mean, there's a lot of different things going on. So I think that whether you've been experienced with mission trips and you've done some hardcore ones where you're just out there in the middle of the bush and it's hot, and you don't have a lot going on, or if you're new to mission trips and you've never been on one before and you're want to get your feet wet, I think across the board, this is going to be a great trip for you, no matter what your experience or your background is, that you'll be able to find something in the trip that will really connect with you and you'll really enjoy it, right? Because I know it'd be a variety of things.
It's going to be, we'll be working with churches there, speaking when we're there over the weekends, and just different services will be involved in those church services. Yeah. But yeah, at the Dream Center itself, we'll be going out into like some pretty rough areas of Rio, like the slums of that area, all the way to just making relationships with people and helping their ministry out. There's, like you said, there's just a lot of variety in terms of what we can do. And it's Rio. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Brazil, heard about Brazil, met a Brazilian. Like, they're just a lot of fun. Like, the country, the culture, the people is amazing. I've been there. I've been to Brazil before, and it's awesome. One of my favorite countries that I've ever been to. Great. Yeah. I mean, it's great food, just a blast.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah, and what's going to be cool about this trip, it will just be collective, so just young adults 18 to 30. And really every trip, I mean, I could be wrong, but from what I know, every trip that we've had that young adults have been on, it's completely changed their lives. They've absolutely loved it. It's been really impacting. Except that one guy, he didn't like it, but we kicked him out the ministry.
He never came back.
Yeah, he never came back. Yeah, so we don't know what happened to him. But everybody else, just kidding. No, everyone who really has been a part, they've loved it. And so you should really be thinking, praying, and processing about really, man, do I want to go on this trip? But the biggest question that a lot of people have when it comes to this is cost. And
how much is it going to cost?
Exactly. How much is it going to be? So, Trey, go ahead and let us know about the cost and some about that as well.
So right now, to go on the trip, it's going to be $2,600. So what that includes is really everything from when the trip starts to when it ends.
Yep.
So when you show up, wherever we meet, like airport, food in the airport, once we're there, all travel, lodging, just anything besides, obviously, if you go buy a bunch of gifts, like you're going to have to buy that.
Yeah.
But we're covering everything. The only things we don't is if you need to get a passport, you'll have to get that. That's outside of the $2,600. And then if there's anything medically related. So if you're wanting to, I don't know, go get certain shots or different things, which that's kind of a case by case. Like you just have to either talk to your doctor or research online what you want to do.
Yeah.
But the passport and medical stuff, that is not included, but really everything else is in that $2,600. And the reason it's expensive, really the most expensive part is what a lot of people ask. It all goes to the flight.
Yep.
Flights there are just, it's expensive. And so we're not like making money from these. I mean, these are at cost.
Yeah.
And so it's worth it though. And I think
absolutely.
We wanted to even address this whole cost, because a lot of us, especially this is a trip for young adults, $2,600 is like a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a young adult, and so $2,600 is a crazy amount of money. And so I'm going to ask you,
absolutely,
why is it worth it? Why is saving, raising support, why is $2,600 worth it?
Absolutely. Man, I think something I always like to tell people when it comes to mission trips is that if money is the only thing in the way, there's nothing in the way, right? I mean, finances should never be the obstacle when it comes to these trips. I mean, we even had a couple who, when we went to Niger, the both of them went, and that trip, I think it was like $3,200. And so for the both of them as a couple, they had to raise $6,400, near $6,500, and in 2 weeks, just 2 weeks, they were able to raise all that money. And so it really shows you that money's never an obstacle. So why is it worth it, man? Why is this really worth it? Well, I think first and foremost, I like to, I'm a good old Bible guy, and Jesus tells us to go into all of the world, and I don't think that we should really have an excuse when it comes to obeying our Lord. And so he tells us to go, so we should go. And I believe that if God gives us the command, he'll also be able to provide that. He said, hey, listen, I have authority. You have the green light. Go into all the world. So I think he'll make a way. Secondly, man, I see the amount of money, really when you add up the amount of money you put into all these little things, whether it's clothes, whether it's your coffee, even education, different things, we place our finances and our treasure where our hearts are. And a lot of the times where we put our finances ends up being where our heart is. And I really believe that when it comes to these trips, it's not a cost, it's an investment. It's not just an investment in your life, but also in the lives of the people that you're going to impact. And guys, honestly, you just cannot put a price tag on that. And so I don't really see it as a cost at all. I see this as an investment that, one, God's going to recognize it and see that, and there's going to be a return for you. Now listen, I'm not talking about some, prosperity. You sow this and God's going to multiply X amount of dollars back to you, because I believe the reward that you get from it is so much more valuable than just simply money. And I think that a lot of the times we're looking for something. What am I supposed to do with my life? What am I called to do? We're looking for purpose. And so many people, when they go on this trip, these trips that we have, man, the encounters with God, the opening of their eyes to the world globally, getting a heart, the same heart that God has for the world. I mean, guys, all of that, you just can't put a price tag on it. So I just think the simplest thing is just that, guys. It's not a cost, it's an investment. For you to go to share the gospel to people who need Jesus Christ, you should absolutely take that step. So as I said before, if money is the only thing in the way, there is nothing in the way. Ways that you can raise money is that you can, really some of the best ways is just support, sending out support letters, GoFundMe accounts, different things like that. It will blow your mind how many people eagerly and they love to give to these things. I mean, they want to. I mean, it'll blow your mind. So
yeah, I mean, so think about people who we're as young adults, like think about your family or like your family friends or those type of people. They know you. It's the ones who might have an Instagram account and they don't post on it, but they always like your photos and you kind of know who they are. They kind of don't. Those people, like they truly do love you. Like they enjoy following what you're doing with your life, all that kind of stuff. Talk to them. Like it's not this sales pitch. A lot of times people think, oh, I don't want to write a support letter because I'm like selling them on side. I just feel like that used car salesman, that type of stigma. And really it's not. It's about really people investing in you. Just like your trip, like you're saying, is an investment. People giving to you, that's an investment for them. They either want to go and they can't go, or they're just excited to see you go. And so they're excited to give to you. Exactly. I've given to people, and I don't see it as like I wasn't forced. I didn't feel this guilt. I was really excited to give to somebody because I was just excited for them to go overseas. And so, I mean, that's huge. Don't just bypass. If you want to go on a trip, raise support. Like write a letter, whether it's text message, calling. There's so many different avenues you could do this. But basically tell people about what you're doing. Hey, I'm going this summer to do this. This is what we're doing. This is how much it costs first. I'd like you to pray for me. But also, would you think about giving towards my trip? I need some help to make it all the way to the financial deadline that I have. And people, you would be shocked. Like you were saying, there's a couple that went to Niger that the support came in. I remember the majority of mission trips that I've been on, people have sent in just tons of money because they're excited for you. So that's amazing. Get people on board. Let them see the vision of why you're going, and they'll give towards it. Other thing is you can start cutting out expenses, or just different costs. Like you don't always have to go to Starbucks every morning, or maybe there's different subscriptions that you have that maybe you don't need. Maybe you can consolidate, or maybe you can work some extra hours. Start working more hours at your job, or get something on the side. The way you said it was great. I can't remember what you even said.
but it was awesome.
It was really good. No, like if money is the reason you shouldn't go, that's not a reason. What'd you say?
Exactly. Yeah. If money is the thing that's keeping you from going, nothing is keeping you from going. Right?
Exactly.
That's the only thing getting in the
Which
way.
For most young adults, I'm telling you, this is the number one thing that I hear is, man, I really want to go. I'd love to go. I just can't afford it. And my challenge to you guys is just take that initial step. And what that initial step looks like is apply for the trip. Go ahead and sign up for it and begin the process, because you'd be amazed. Just one step at a time, money will come in. People will support you. You'll cut out expenses. You'll work a little bit extra, and the money will come. It'll take some work, but it's completely possible. I don't know what else I can say, but I want to kind of drive that point in. It's totally, totally possible. Don't just watch the video and I'll just wait till I have the money. Like, you're never just going to have $2,600 cash just sitting there. That's just not going to happen. And so you just need to build some momentum, take that first step.
Absolutely. So I'm sure you're now watching it. You're like, I'm in. Let's do this thing. You just wrote some support letters. Somebody just sent you $2,600. You got the check in the mail, knock at the door. There it is. And you're like, what do I now do to sign up for this trip and to go? So just real quick, let us know what's kind of the next steps from here.
So the best thing to do is if you go to bethany.com/missions, bethany.com, our church website /missions, and that's going to take you just to the missions page. We have 9 different trips going on this year, just for the whole church. And so the one for Collective, you'll see it really right at the top of the page. It says Brazil. And there's a little button right at the bottom that says, I think it says sign up or apply or something like that. You should be able to figure it out. If you can't figure it out, maybe you shouldn't go.
Yeah, probably not for you.
So that's basically going to take you to just a very brief application process. I think it's maybe 15 questions, some personal information, information about your involvement with church, and then there is, I do need to say this, there's a $50 application fee. So the reason we have this is that we want people who are serious, like, hey, I really am interested in going, and not just, well, I'm going to fill it out and see what happens. So there's a $50 application fee with that. So basically you fill it out, you put your credit card information, it'll charge you $50. Now, that $50 goes towards the $2,600. So if you apply, and you pay that $50, you really need to raise $2,550.
Y'all saw that math? quick.
I
Just
know.
did that in
I
his
did
head.
go to college. I mean, come on.
Mind-blowing. I only went through
I
half
know.
of college. I just have an associate's degree, so it's impressive.
So basically, that's the next best step. When you apply, we will contact you. We'll let you know, hey, this is when the first team meeting is.
Yeah.
This is what that process looks like. I do want you to know, relating to the $2,600, we have financial deadlines. We're not going to go into all that right now, but you'll have you need to have $1,000 in by this date. You need to have the $1,500 in by this date. There'll be, I think, 3 different financial deadlines.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that. But the most important thing is take that first step. Go to bethany.com/missions.
Yeah.
You'll see the trip for Brazil. It says right on there, this trip is for Collective. And that's where you sign up.
Absolutely, yeah. And so the first, not the first deadline for payment, but deadline for application is going to be January 19th. And so, though there is time to be thinking about it and praying about it, we'd love for you to get the ball rolling. That way you can put in the application, start raising support. Maybe even money that you might get for Christmas or something like that. You can even put towards that. I'm telling you guys, it's worth the sacrifice. It's going to be amazing. So what we'll have is with this video or somewhere on it, we'll be sure to put the link to the site that you guys need to go on to. Also, if there's any questions that you guys have, you can initially shoot them to collective@bethany.com with the trip. We'll be sure to get that to Trey, or if myself can answer, whoever can answer it, we'll be sure to cover all that up. And but collective@bethany.com, we'll put that email address as well on this video. And yeah, if you guys want to come hang out with us, we'd love for you to be a part of what God is doing all across the world, and specifically to jump in with us as the Collective, going to Rio. Come with us.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be awesome. We love you guys so much. Y'all have a great one.